Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Featherhoof.
You did a good job there.
Thank
and
you.
I'm CarnagePanda.
Well done. Nice panda. So, we are here to talk more about the animes. The animes because it is anime talk for spring 2019, week number 4. What the hell happened this week?
I have some strong opinions.
I think all of the good animators decided to go on vacation.
What happened is that we watched a really good movie yesterday.
Yeah.
So the universe had to balance itself out.
Ah, that's what it is.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so, watching something really fantastic, the next day, the universe had to say, well, we gotta take away other fantastic things, because this other thing you saw was so fantastic. So, it was a, disappointing week. Not so much in story. I don't think the stories this week actually bothered me, as much as some very lazy
we'll get there.
art teams.
We'll definitely get there.
Yeah. Not everything was bad. There was actually some really good ones, but there's just some teams decided that they didn't need to try as hard this week. So, with that little tease out of the way, I think we should head right into our list.
Yeah.
Into our list we go. Please, yes. Into our list we go. Coming in at number 1 this week, in the category of Worst Animation Ever, is Dororo. What the... What happened? What happened this week? I mean, before we even get into the story and the recap, it was like a whole different team drew and animated the show this week. It was not the team who drew the previous, 15 other episodes.
I think this was episode 15.
This is episode 16. Oh, wait.
If you say so.
Wait, you're right. This was episode 15. So the other 14, because they had that 1 week off. You're right. Yeah, so episode... What again?
15.
15. Wow. I mean... I would expect a team to switch over, for people to switch out during a mid-season or between seasons, but in the middle of a two-parter? Seriously, if you were to play back both halves of last episode and this episode, it was just what happened? What?
So I don't want anybody to get confused, because you may go into this episode and you'll be like, hey, these backgrounds, they look really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They look great, and I'm pretty sure they just outsourced the backgrounds to another studio.
Yeah.
And they've been doing them the entire time. What happened here, however, is the characters that inhabit this world,
You know how in some anime where they do bad art on purpose because it's a comedy and it's not supposed to be taken seriously, so they don't really care?
Kind of like Broken Neck Sasuke.
Sure, yeah. It's like they put that kind of art style purposefully into something that's supposed to be a little more serious.
I don't think the story was bad.
No.
The background artwork was really good. I like the music.
Yeah.
But, oh my goodness, The illustrations and the animations... There are some really bad animation in this episode. It just did things to me that I will not soon recover from.
It made me... I can't speak for you, but I want to speak for myself. It made me very hypersensitive to other anime. Unfortunately, it was the first one we watched this week, and it made me very hypersensitive to the rest of the anime we watched, oh no, why did they...
Yeah, this is true, because sometimes we will point out the derp faces that... and after watching this episode, it's just a clusterfuck of just bad art. I remember reading this book back in high school.
What is a book? What is this?
And you were sitting right next to me during this so-called study hall class.
Oh yeah.
And I would open up this book and start reading it. And it wasn't very long. There were like 20-some chapters in it. Like 25 or 27.
Okay.
But the first 18 or 20 of them all started out the same. Started talking about how something was bad. And it was the baddest of bad things.
I know what book you're talking about.
And I would turn to you in this class after reading every chapter, and I'd be like, it just said the same goddamn thing that it said in the last chapter. And I just couldn't wrap my head around it, but I kept reading it. I don't know why. Maybe because the only other thing I would do in these study halls is sleep.
Yeah.
But that book is called The Silmarillion.
And every chapter they need to remind you that there's this guy, his name's Melchior.
Melkor.
Melkor, sorry. Melkor.
Melchior's the guy from the Jesus story.
Yeah, sorry. Melkor. Melkor is bad.
Yeah, he's bad. He's so bad that he is the baddest bad, and there will never be any bads that are badder than him.
Chapter 2. Melchior is bad.
It's Melkor, bro.
Shut up. I can't help it.
Yeah, Melchior, he brought... Man, this fucking frankincense or whatever he bought, man, this shit was just fucking terrible.
Melkor. Chapter 3. Melkor was bad. Just the baddest of bads.
Oh, man, he's just fucking bad. Oh,
Chapter 4.
Hey, do you know how bad Melkor is? He was terrible. He was just worse than he was in the last chapter.
Chapter 6. Anyway, just replace Melkor and that whole thing we just did with Dororo's animation in episode 3 or 15.
You know, I half feel like I should just throw some screenshots up here, but I don't feel like putting the audience through any PTSD.
I don't know. Maybe we should. I'll leave that up to you. If he sends them to me, I've already been putting them through this section. If not, then we're saving you from some pain.
So this was just a continuation of last week's story of Mr. Bug Eyes.
Sabame.
Yeah, Sabame.
Or as I like to call him, Sabame.
Sabame. Protecting his waifu, the Mothra.
Mothra, yes. And Dororo decides she's going to go play detective. And Hyakimaru decides he's going to play emo brooding protagonist. He's really good at playing emo brooding protagonist, I'll tell you what. Whew! Hyakimaru's got that down pat.
Yeah, he does.
I'm waiting for him to start going like Batmaning on rooftops. That's how good he is at emo brooding.
You know, this animation was so bad that I was like not even paying attention to the story of the episode. I was just like, why? Why would you do this to us?
Like, this episode, one of the things that stuck out horrendously to me is that Hyakimaru, for some reason, has either really thick outlines for his eyes, or he's got, like, suddenly, for no reason in episode 15, he's suddenly put on, like, just black eyeshadow underneath his eyes. It's just, it throws me off every time they zoom in on his face. I'm just like, when did that happen and why?
Well, when they were doing close-up shots, you know, I guess since they couldn't get away with just putting fucking 2 dots in a smiley face, or just not even drawing face. Yeah.
So, oh my god, yeah.
They didn't even...
No faces.
No, they didn't even draw in the faces for these people.
So many times, it was so lazy. It would just be like 2 dots, sometimes even in a mouth. It would just be like 2 dots. It's like, boop, there's a face. It's like... So, what this story is, Sabame, I don't care how it's pronounced in Japanese, the episode didn't put enough effort into its animation. I'm not going to put enough effort into remembering the names of the characters properly. He's still hell-bent on, for whatever reason, still feeding Hyakimaru and Dororo to Mai, I think her name was. Mamayaru or some shit like that.
Yeah, just Mothra.
Mothra, yeah. And, so... So like I said, Dororo goes out to play detective, because Sabame asks them to spend another night. To which, I love it, Dororo's like, man, I thought I was going to have to, like, you know, be all subversive to try and, you know, get him to, you know, offer us another night, and he just, just invited us.
Yeah, Dororo didn't know his evil plan of evil, though.
Yes. So, turns out Sabame is doing exactly what Dororo's dad's doing. Only instead of, like, making a pact with 12 demons, he married and started boinking a demon. And has all kinds of half human, half moth caterpillar children with Mothra. And apparently they've been feeding travelers to them. So that Mothra will keep the land prosperous and free of plague and famine and all that other jazz. Just like Hyakimaru's parents did.
But not free of bad animation.
No, not free of that. So, Dororo's asking questions, and people in town aren't liking that. At least we can assume they didn't. I mean, they all sort of just were like blocky little characters, like, you know, that just moved away whenever she would ask questions. To which she finds a big old shed in the middle of the forest. And she's all like, well, why would they keep their storage shed out in the middle of the forest away from all the villagers? That doesn't make sense.
That's where they keep Yoshiyuki Tomino.
And goes inside and first finds nothing. He's like, oh, it's all just rice. Huh. Oh, look, trapdoor. Oh, I can't see down there. It's really dark. I wouldn't be able to see anything with a torch. And then a voice comes up from behind her. Well, that's kind of the point. Punt.
And, poor Dororo, she kind of gets cured of her, illness of mitten feet in this episode, but at what cost? At what cost, man?
Polygonal, that's the cost. She was almost like a bad PS1 caricature of an anime character. But what I also found funny is that she was cured of her not being able to see in the dark within seconds.
Yeah, what is like giant rats or something?
No, it was the caterpillar children.
Oh yeah. I don't know
what were you thinking? I mean, this is not like
so badly drawn. I don't know what the fuck I was looking at.
So she's running from, you know, the demon moth children, and suddenly, she falls on a pile of bones, and she's like, "This is it. I'm done for." And Baby Ghost comes back. No longer with a scrotum for a mouth. Even that's drawn.
An asshole for a mouth.
Asshole for a mouth. Sorry.
It still has an asshole for a mouth.
No, it's drawn way different. It doesn't actually look like an asshole anymore. It just looks like this weird, misshapen hole.
Yeah, I think the baby just looks completely different.
It does. It doesn't look nearly as, like, creepy. It just looks badly drawn.
Yeah, the baby comes and saves Dororo from the caterpillar children.
Mm-hmm. By making its head explode and
into poorly drawn souls.
Do you remember, for anyone who's a fan of Dragon Ball Z out there, do you remember the Buu saga when Goten and Trunks formed the Gotenks and did the 100 Ghost Kamikaze attack? The little sperm ghost came out of their mouths. Like, they looked like if Akira Toriyama stopped giving a shit about the quality of his animation or his drawing, that's what they looked like. They were awful. They looked like they were paper. They were so two-dimensional. It was awful.
You make a good point here, because Dragon Ball Z came out during like the late 80s and early 90s.
Correct.
And it looks better than this.
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking Gotenks Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost Kamikaze attack.
Mm-hmm.
It looks better than this.
Oh yeah.
And they have better tools now.
Yep.
I mean, they don't have to sit there and hand draw this on cells. They just do it on fucking computers now.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they were just like, my mouse.
Yep.
That looks good.
Yeah, it looks awful. And somehow these ghost children spirits give Dororo not only ward off the caterpillar children, but also give Dororo some kind of power to see into the past. They give her memories of what happened at the orphanage. Turns out Sabame killed the nun.
You don't say.
And took all the children as food for the caterpillars.
No one ever saw this coming.
Nope. And he burned the place down with oil.
Ooh, a plot twist.
Oh, yes. And, so the ghost children help Dororo escape. Meanwhile, Sabame is walking out somewhere, and Hyakimaru thinks he's super stealth ninja. And, oh my god. If you can...
So Sabame is walking around with no face at points.
No, but it does have a face. It has two really bad drawn bug eyes. Like, it was just like circle with dot, circle with dot.
Like the part where he's first coming out through the gate, like, he looks just horribly drawn. And then as he comes closer, is like, you're watching some video that's streaming in 240p and then it pops into 1080.
Yep.
You're like, only, you're horrified that the video is actually in 1080 at that point.
Yes. And then Hyakimaru's walk cycle animation as he's chasing after him.
So
it was so bad.
In the fucking forest. Like,
he had to rewind it because he's like, we couldn't believe what we just saw.
I can't even explain what happened.
When people who don't like anime badmouth anime, they're like, oh, the animation is jerky, shoddy bullshit. This is the kind of stuff they're talking about. Right here.
I don't even know what the fuck this run... Like, he does a zigzag coming towards the screen and then back up, and
yeah,
it's just the weirdest looking thing ever.
It looks like somebody who's like, oh, it reminded me of like an old Newgrounds video of someone who's just learning how to use Flash for the first time.
Good thing Flash is going away.
Hey, Flash was good stuff, man. What are you talking about?
Flash is going away.
I know, but it was still good stuff. I loved Newgrounds back in the day. So, Sabame knows he was coming the entire time, and sicks his children upon him, who are now turning into littler versions of the big Mothra. And he, at first Sabame's all like, look, I did this to save the village, alright? You're really gonna kill these demons? I mean, come on, they're keeping the village safe. And he's like, yes I am. That's what I'm doing. And, he gets some good licks in. You know, he chops the wings off of the one and
this is probably
legs off of another, and somehow, I don't know when or how, loses his leg, his prosthetic leg.
This is probably one of the worst fights I've ever seen in anime.
No, it's not, because you didn't see it. Every time there was action, it went to a black screen with slash marks.
Like, do you remember when you were watching Naruto? If you ever did.
I watched some of it. I was more into the manga than I was the anime.
Did you ever watch during the Pain arc?
Yes, I did, actually. Yes.
So you probably know where I'm going with this.
I know exactly where you're going, yeah.
The episode where he fights Naruto and punches into the ground, and it looks really like some old Hanna-Barbera shit. Which I think that is the whole point of what they were going for there. And people criticize the shit out of that.
Yeah.
They're like, man, what the fuck was going on with Naruto in this episode? And I'm like, okay, it doesn't look that bad, okay? It looks weird and...
Yeah. It's like Dragon Ball Super. When Dragon Ball Super first started, when it came back, people were posting on the internet, look at this still frame. Look at this still frame of this one action shot. Look how awful it looks. But if you then go watch the episode, it flashes by so fast that the animation is just so fluid that you don't even recognize it. This isn't like that. This is so in your face and obvious. You don't need to pause it to see how bad it is.
Yeah. Constantly off model characters.
Yep. So
really bad fight scene.
And then, for no reason, the moths, after Hyakimaru escapes them, turn on the village and spontaneously combust.
This is the part of the episode where all logic starts to dissolve.
There's no... And then Hyakimaru is found by Dororo, and then suddenly he's in a boat for no reason, and he whips his sword out, just standing there in the boat, and then Mama Mothra shows up out of the water. It's like, okay. And the whole fight scene is she knocks his ass down and he shoots fire at her with his replacement stick leg.
Yeah, okay.
And she explodes. And I was like, why can his replacement bamboo leg shoot fire? And wait a minute, again, where did his other prosthetic leg go?
See, I knew we were in trouble at the point... at the start of the episode, but I knew we were in trouble where the logic is just gone when this moth just dive bombs a tower and the tower bursts into flames. I was like...
Now that was worse on many levels, because it wasn't like you didn't really see the dive bomb happening and then an explosion. It was... The moth is flapping... here's the tower, and here's the moth just sort of... The next frame, as if it's a hard jump cut. Like, it's on fire and the moth is gone. It's like, what the fuck happened? So, to boil it down, the whole village basically burns to the ground. Some people died. Dororo's like, did we do a good thing? Was this good what we did?
Sabame died.
Sabame vanished.
No, he was in the fucking puddle.
No, his clothes were. He was not in them.
Okay, you might be able to make an argument there because of how poorly drawn it was.
There was no Sabame in those clothes. There were Sabame's clothes on the ground with no Sabame in them.
They fixed this in the Blu-rays.
I hope they
There's
do.
an actual body.
So Dororo is starting to question whether it's a good thing that they're killing all these demons, and Hyakimaru just keeps repeating, "It's not my problem. It's not my problem."
Demon's bad.
Until it turns out he says it one last time, and he realizes Dororo ain't chastising him anymore. And he was like, "Wait, what? Dororo? Where the fuck did you go?" And Dororo's in another continent because he's not even in like the same biosphere as Hyakimaru.
He's like, I'm kind of lost.
And
some dudes show up.
Some dude. Even worse.
This is the worst fucking thing.
Dororo is walking down the road, and some horsemen are coming up from behind her.
This fucking scene.
It's so bad. But the point that I would have pointed out, one of them goes, "Hey, long time no see, Dororo," and we look up, and Dororo goes, "Itachi," and then it shows him, and I went, "Who the fuck is that?" That was who was that?
Completely different.
It's not even the same character.
I was like, who's this guy? He's just a bunch of dudes that rode up on these fucking terribly trod horses, and there's this dude. He's like, "Hey, Dororo, let's shoot the shit," and he's like, "Oh, that's Itachi."
But Itachi's all like, "Hey, got the first half of the map. You mind giving us the second half, the one that's on your back? Mind giving us that? Come on."
And Dororo's like, "Oh shit. Where's Hyakimaru to murder these guys? I was wrong."
And cut the credits.
I hope that the next episode is better, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up because they took a break, and this is the third episode after the break.
Yeah.
I think we are already on a train that is derailing and is filled with dynamite.
Now, this is bad because the first two episodes were shit writing. The third episode was shit animation. What is happening to Dororo? The first 12 episodes were so good. It was consistently in our top 3 every week, with minor exceptions. And it has yet to break into our top 3 at all this season.
Okay, so my train is still derailing, and every car on it is filled, just packed with dynamite.
Oh, great.
And the train itself is on fire.
Great.
And as it's derailing, there is a gas station right ahead of it. So, yeah,
Tezuka is rolling over in his grave right now.
this poor guy, his fucking original manga art looks better than this.
It does. It absolutely does. But we've gone on far too long. I mean, it actually left that much of an impression on us. That's how bad this episode was. That's why this little review has gone on so long. But
remember how much I bashed Angels of Death for just being terribly boring and
Yeah.
stupid and a waste of time?
yeah.
This episode is worse than that.
Well, here's the thing.
Just based on the artwork alone.
Yeah, I enjoyed the story this episode. I actually did enjoy where they were going with it. I mean, it wasn't exactly, subtle in any way. It was kind of all obvious in the open, but the animation took away any enjoyment.
Yeah, so like I said, the background artwork is great. It looks just fantastic, and the music, I was enjoying it, and the story, great. But I got immediately kicked out of it just looking at it.
Yes.
Just looking at the characters.
Yep. So that was our thoughts on Dororo episode 15. Who knows what the fuck has just happened, man? Somebody got a budget cut. Someone got a serious budget cut. And with that, we're going to go ahead and move along from that train wreck into something a little more weird.
So Featherhoof, I've been watching this show called Sarazanmai.
You don't say. Tell me about this Sarazanmai.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
And I don't really know where my feelings are on it yet.
I neither love nor hate it yet.
Like, I don't feel like it was as bad as Dororo,
No.
but that episode made me sensitive. So I was seeing some animation mistakes in this episode.
But were they really as bad as Dororo, though?
They were not as glaringly as bad, but because my sensitivity was increased,
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I didn't notice as many here. I actually don't. I can't, off the top of my head, pull one out of, just go, oh, there was one. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
I can't remember his name. The kid with the glasses.
Enta,
okay. I'm going to have to commit that to memory at some point, because I know Kazuki and Criminal Kid.
Kuji?
Yes, Kujo.
Kuji!
When they were doing shots with Enta,
Yeah.
where he would be far away,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
it had the Dororo effect.
But luckily, they were actually good enough. They just did the opaque glasses thing, because luckily he was a character with glasses. So
Yeah, but it still looked really jank and
yeah.
Of course, this didn't throw me out as much because the illustrations were a lot higher quality throughout the episode.
Yeah, I mean, so what happened this episode? How did we start this episode?
We start this episode the same way we ended the last episode.
With a kiss.
With a kiss.
A
where
kisu.
Enta is kissing Kazuki.
And
the cat is still freaking out.
And basically inner monologues that, yeah, he's gay for Kazuki. It's like, aww. The kiss was not okay. That's, unwanted sexual advances. I think that's technically classified as some kind of rape. Sexual assault, yeah. But apparently Kazuki is very oblivious to it, because he wakes up in the middle of it and it doesn't even acknowledge it.
Kazuki is really oblivious to everything in this episode.
Very much. He even makes up excuses for it at some point, but we'll get there. So this episode is about Enta.
Yeah.
What does Enta do? Talk a lot about Enta and Kisu. Lots of Kisus.
Yeah, so he's watching some show after we get a cut from him sexually assaulting his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
He's having breakfast with his
grandmother and sister.
And the TV's on with our favorite Sarah girl, telling them what they got to do today.
Today's lucky thing is kisses. Yes. And the sister says something that involves Kisu, and he's like, and of course Enta's all like on edge, you know, that anyone's gonna find out what he did, and he's like, wait, Kisu's, no Kisu's, no Kisu, and nothing happened. He's like, what the fish? He's like, oh, fish, oh. I've never heard of a fish called Kisu before, but apparently there's a fish called Kisu.
I didn't understand why he was being so weird about it in front of his family when they had no clue what he was doing done.
It's called a guilty conscience.
I guess he had a guilty conscience.
Because he know he did bad. That was bad.
He needs to turn himself over to
those two police officers?
Yeah, the corrupt gay police officers.
Who keep speaking in otter puns.
Yes, the otter puns.
This is utterly unacceptable.
I think their boss is an otter.
I think their boss is going to be like a giant otter. But, of course, they have another dance routine.
Yeah. And
I mean, that's one thing I did like about this episode. This episode did kind of bring back the crazy a little bit.
Yeah. And Inta's whole thing is, you know, Kazuki quit the soccer club, and because of that, he's been, you know, he just collapsed on the ground and started pretending like he was dying for 2 hours. Like every soccer player does.
Of course.
But he wanted to get Kazuki back into the club so bad that he started having delusions over it.
Yes. He keeps seeing Kazuki there, helping him in different situations, and professing his love for him, and professing, you know, like, I will rejoin the soccer team so the two of us can be the golden duo together forever. Only to realize it's either his sister, or Kuji, or just
Kepi.
The Kepi. Oh yeah, Kepi at one point. I mean, there's lusting after somebody you're infatuated with. This is unhealthy.
And then there's Enta.
Enta is... His obsession with Kazuki is very unhealthy. I mean, this is nothing about love anymore. He's way, way obsessed.
Is Enta gonna turn out to be our yandere?
Turn out to be? I think he clearly is.
Like the gay police officers are gonna be closing in on Kazuki, and they almost have him. And then in bursts Enta, and he slashes both of them in the back. And they're like, we would have gotten away with it, but for Enta. And his mangy kappa.
So the cops' new plan today is they actually steal Enta's sister's boyfriend, who actually turns out to be some kind... guilty of marriage fraud?
I don't understand. Maybe this is a thing in Japan, this doesn't happen over here.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means, marriage fraud.
I would have to look that up. Is that like if you're marrying a woman or a man from a different country and bringing them over for them to get citizenship, or
I don't know. All I know is that he's doing because he wants to receive kisses from all the women in the world. Is his desire. The desire they suck out of him to turn him into a fish demon? A fish kappa zombie?
I don't understand this one at all. I really don't. This one was out there for me.
And begins to start... Yeah, we've had boxes fly through the air.
Yes.
We've had cats fly through the air.
Yes.
Now there's brides. Just a shit ton of brides.
Women are just going up into the air and getting abducted.
Women in bridal dresses, specifically.
And apparently with the... I just wanted to point it out. Apparently with the broadcast that Sarah does, she recommends brushing your teeth with cucumbers. I
didn't get that part, but Enta does notice his sister is one of the ones who are being kidnapped.
Yeah, he's like, my sister. I gotta go rescue her. I'm gonna assume the position.
And just straight up, and this time we get to watch Enta go through the transformation process. And then they don't cut it up as bad. They actually do let it go from A to B. I think the only thing they really cut was the squirming around inside the anus part. Like, other than that, like, it was pretty much, they showed everything.
Yeah,
of
I was getting prepared for this poor guy, you know, who was murdered by the police officers. I guess they murdered him or something.
I don't know. I'm so confused by that. Well, no, it's like they wiped them from well, I guess they, like, it's so weird. We'll get to that. But he's kidnapping the girls, and they'll come up and kiss him in his big demon fish face, and then it turns them into Kisu fish.
Yeah, so as I was saying, this guy's unlucky. He first had a run-in with these police officers, and then he had kappas thrown into his ass.
Yep.
So
to pull out a sphere with the kanji for butt on it.
This guy had an interesting life.
Not anymore. He's now dead. But then we went and did the Sarazanmai leaking memory share thing, but through Enta.
I was talking about his desire first.
Yeah, to kiss all the women in the world.
No, the part where it's like he just wanted to cut fish into threes.
Oh, wait. I thought...
And I was like, what?
I thought it was... Oh, because I keep getting Kiss and Kisu mixed together. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Alright. Yeah, it was weird.
I was like, what?
So, during the Sarazanmai, we get to see Enta's big thing that he's terrified people will know about him.
Yeah. And since the other guys can see his thoughts.
This is... Dude, unhealthy. This is, like, seriously, I don't care that's a gay relationship. This is unhealthy. One day, he's going to grow up to be one of those stalker rapists. I mean, the warning signs are here. It shows him, like, going to Kazuki's locker after soccer.
He's not going to grow up. He is.
Yeah, to take his clothes so he can, like, sniff them. And then, like, to go into his desk in music class to take out his clarinet just so he can suck on the saliva left over from his mouth on the mouthpiece and getting off on it and then
just like Kuji's like, bro, I know I'm a criminal and I do bad stuff, but seriously, what the fuck?
Like,
what the fuck?
Like, all that Kuji said was just saying, seriously? So, Kazuki, being dense as he is, he goes, oh, the soccer team dared you to do it. Oh, that's what it was. The rest of the soccer team dared you to do it. Oh, I get it. I understand. It's fine.
So funny.
Oh, yeah. And, he's like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, sure.
And then he goes into another one of his delusions.
Where he believes that Kazuki is all like, I've decided to rejoin soccer team, and we will be the golden duo forever. And he, like, Enta presents him with I forget the word they use, but it's like a little, like a ankle bracelet thing.
Oh yeah,
with the soccer ball on it.
Yeah,
like giving it to him as if proposing a marriage with it.
And then he goes in for the kiss.
And lips are locked. And then he opens his eyes.
And he's like, of course. I was just daydreaming.
Because he was in the middle of kissing Kebi's lips, who were over here, but Kebi's body was over there.
I like during the delusion where Kuchi's just standing off to the side like, wow, this is really gay, man. Just, wow.
Well, he didn't even notice that delusion was happening. He was playing on his phone. He goes, Enta, is everything all right over there?
Well, that's after the delusion. And then Kazuki's on his phone. He's just like, yeah, what? what? And Kuchi's over there, like, sharpening his ruler or something.
Yeah. Well, he's like little puffs, like a little puff on it or whatever. I don't know what that is. And
this was weird, man.
It was. I think the final scene was like, he's sitting there talking with Haruka, Kazuki's little brother, who we find out in this episode is disabled.
Yeah.
He's in a wheelchair.
Haruka cannot use Haruka's legs.
Nope. So he, Enta's like about to give up on Kazuki. And Haruka talks him back into it. It's like, God damn it! Your brother was almost safe from this creepy stalker rapist guy, and you pushed him back in! Ugh! That was bad phrasing. I should not have said that, but... But, yeah, yeah, I know. But that was this episode of Sarazan my... What did you think? Are you able to form thoughts after that?
No.
I'm serious, man. Enta is not well. I'm sorry that these are actions that I don't know. Like this anime almost shows like these actions as if it's like in the other times when they've done the Sarazanmei through Kazuki's eyes. It's always been sort of like, oh, that's something you shouldn't be embarrassed about. Everyone, has little desires. It's like that's fine. The cross dressing, and well, and then there was the stealing the cat, which actually was kind of bad. But then it's like Enta's just sort of like, it's like, dude, this is a very unhealthy obsession.
You got Kuchi over here, who's just like robbing people at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And, growing marijuana.
Waterboarding people. Murdering them and putting them in the river.
Yeah. He's just a bad guy, and then I'm like, who's worse? Him or Enta?
No, Kuchi's far worse. At least for now. Enta hasn't actually taken the step into unforgivable land. Kuchi, he's a murderer. I mean...
Yeah, we find out next episode that Enta just has a bunch of people in his basement.
Oh god, he's actually the dude from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, we're just gonna go next episode, and Enta's gonna be down in his basement, and he's like, it puts the lotion on its skin.
So, I want to give this episode props because, hey, the animation was better than Dororo.
It wasn't hard to outdo Totoro this week, though.
They brought back the crazy. But I do deduct a lot of points because it's just, I don't know. Enta, the way Enta being a protagonist in the show is the same way I feel about Kurumi being a main character in the show in Magical Spec Ops. It's like, you are not a good guy.
That's exactly what Enta is doing. He's just trying out for the magical girl tea.
Yeah, this is, I don't know, it was uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable.
See, I just wanted to contrast it because we're watching another show in the background that is also 100,000% crazy, but we like it.
Yes, yeah. Once we finish it, we'll do an this week Elsewhere in Anime on it. But it's I don't know. Like I said, I think the reason that at least I felt it should be this slow is just that it's really made me uncomfortable.
I'm just not on board with it yet.
Well,
it's not like Penguin Drum,
right?
Like where I was just super invested into it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I do like the Kappa segments. Like the Kappa segments always kind of make me giggle because they're basically defeating the demons with song and dance, and it's kind of funny.
He also did Utna, and
oh really?
Yeah,
I did not know that. Huh?
And
I guess that makes sense now that I think about it.
Utna was not my favorite, even though a lot of people lavish praise on it.
It's a classic.
But I just was not as into it as some other people are.
Okay, well, that's fair.
Like, one thing is, I think it went on for way too long.
A lot of anime do. I mean, let's be honest.
It did go on as long as Dragon Ball Z with its 13 billion filler episodes. Or
it didn't have that many filler episodes.
Dragging out a fight over 20 episodes where, 5 minutes equals 20 hours.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It depends. In Dragon Ball Super, the final tournament arc was supposed to take place over 43 minutes. That turned out to be 40 episodes. But someone actually did a super cut that actually proved it actually did take exactly 43 minutes.
Oh.
If you like
There's
line,
just a lot of other fluff on that then.
yeah. But I don't know. Sarazanmai though, I still don't know. I have no opinions on the show whether it is good or bad yet as a show. Any final thoughts from you?
Nah.
All right, then with that, I guess that was Sarazanmai this week. Hopefully, Enta gets some help for his obsessive compulsiveness, or for his stalkeriness, for his potential rapistness. But we'll see what happens. In the meantime, let's move right along to the next entry on our list. Coming up next is Rising of the Shield Hero. Now, I will be fully honest and transparent with y'all. I think the reason that I put it this far down on the list is because Dororo made me that hypersensitive.
Yeah.
And there were several times, not as much, but there was some really bad animation, some really bad drawing, illustration, rather. But what was almost more unforgivable is we got some bad CG.
They got attacked by some bad CG today, and
Fortunately,
they survived.
Even Philo got affected by the bad CG syndrome several times.
There were some bad CG chickens in here too.
Oh yes, there were. So we pick up right where we left off. The motherfucking T-Rex is out and wreaking havoc, and it doesn't take them long to realize. Melty points out, look at Philo's stomach. And you see the glowy purple from the dragon zombie's core. It's like, and now look at the T-Rex's stomach, and it's glowy purple. I think it's attracted to the core. So it's like, so it's going after Philo specifically. We'll use that to get the monster out of town, so it won't hurt nobody when we fight it.
I just want to bring up a very important point.
Please.
What was his name? Lord Idol.
The bad guy?
Yeah.
Idol.
There's no body.
There is no body. That is true.
Like, they didn't confirm if he was alive or dead yet, but
he survived a 3-story fall.
There's no body, so there may be a chance that he is coming back.
So, Raftalia leaves Keel in the care of, I guess they shortened it. We never know how to say his name, but they've apparently shortened it to Von Sama. So, leaves Keel...
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, the Lord that got kidnapped.
I know who you're talking about.
Okay. And they go, they get this plan. They get on Philo, and they race out of town, T-Rex on their tail. And they go to a lake. It's a big old lake. And they begin to fight it. And they are doing all of 0 damage to it.
He's like, yeah, you got all your weapons and stuff, but my armor class is 100. Can't touch me. Even with nat 20s.
Yep. It was they weren't really getting hurt. They didn't really get hurt in return, but they couldn't do any damage to it. But they didn't get hurt because they they were bouncing around and good agility and everything like that. But suddenly, out of the woods comes invasion of the CG chickens.
Yeah, the CG chickens came out of the woods and
they look bad. They look bad. I would rather have watched Chocobo Racing from Final Fantasy VII. Looks better than what we got in this episode.
What about the game, Chocobo Racing?
That looks better than what we got.
They
form a perimeter around the battle.
So this giant fucking T-Rex is surrounded by some chickens
that are not even as high as its ankle.
Like, they're boxing this dude in. He's not getting away from these fucking chickens.
We mean Philolials, by the way, just to be clear. Like Philo before she got fat. All multicolored, too. It was almost like I was ready for them to all look up at the T-Rex and go, Care Bear stare!
They're just fucking chocobos, man.
They are.
There's no getting around it.
I'm not even kidding. I heard the Chocobo Racing theme in my head while they were rushing out to do the circle around him. And so it's like suddenly out of the lake rises this plume of water, and from it comes the true fat Chocobo. Who looks pretty badass, by the way. I actually like the way she looks. The true Philolio Queen.
Yeah, this is Chicken Queen, and she's really big. She's like, she's just a little bigger than the T-Rex.
I think she was a little smaller.
Taller, but the T-Rex has like length or whatever.
Yeah, maybe. And she tells the shield hero, is like, hero and his party, step back. I got this. He's like, and then it was like, kaiju battle, begin.
See, I think what was going on here is that she wanted to get them out of the way because she did not want to share the XP from the kill.
That's it. And if they're outside a certain radius, they won't get the XP.
They're not part of the party, and she just wanted to get all the XP for herself.
Not that she needed any, because she clearly outclassed this thing.
Yeah, it was a curb stomp battle.
It really was. Also, to see something that huge move that fast is kind of crazy. But she manhandles it. She gives it a chance. She goes, here's what's going to go down. You give me the core that's in your chest right now, and then you can go on your way. And hey, nothing else said. We got this. It apparently does not agree and tries to attack her. So she basically one-hit KOs it with... This made me so mad. One-hit KOs it with a Dragon Ball Z move where she like blinks out and then blinks behind it. And there's slash marks all over it. But it was so badly animated that as it fell to the ground, the slash marks weren't even remotely in the same place on its body during different cells of... like different frames of animation. They moved around on the body like jankily.
It's just the rules of inconsistent bad CG. It's like a law of anime or something.
It was like, oh my god. Again, we fully concede Dororo may have made us hypersensitive to it. I don't know. So she...
May have. Definitely paid.
She invites the shield hero to come back with her to the Filolial Sanctuary. Apparently she met Melty once before. Yeah. But,
they're trying to make a, a special grilled cheese sandwich where they had, like, a fried egg in the middle.
Yummy.
Yeah.
But, she greets Raptalia. It's like, you will all tell me your names. And Nafu's like, what's his name? Izumi Naofumi, whatever his first name was.
Iwatani Naofumi.
Iwatani, okay. And she's like, pleasure to make your acquaintance. And she's like, Raptalia's like, pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name's Philo. And what's your name? Oh, and I know you. And she's like, it turns to Melty. It's like, she's not too keen on Philo, apparently. At least not at first. They seemed, I don't know if it's because she's a queen candidate, because that's the reason the only reason she's there is because the other Filolials, relayed to her that there's another queen candidate. So...
But she seems more interested in talking to Naofumi because he's the shield hero.
Yes. And she, it's like, we got questions. But first, because, like, Philo's tummy rumbles. It's like, I guess everyone's hungry. We should head back to the Filolial Sanctuary. I'll teleport us there, and we can have food. To which it's like, I guess they didn't mention, oh, by the way, you need to make it. So Naofumi has to make them food. And, actually, I found this scene was actually, like, rather cute. I loved it. But, like, Raptalia and Naofumi are like, I can't really eat because I feel fucking guilty. Because, like, as the party and the Filolial Queen are eating, all the other Filolials there are like, y'all giving the puppy dog eyes and staring at the food, and it's like,
So I wonder if you could feed, like, the Filolials to the Filolials. Because, like, I've seen... it's a terrible thing, but I've seen videos on YouTube where dudes will just run down to, like, McDonald's and buy some chicken nuggets.
No!
And then they'll run over to some chickens and toss them.
Oh!
And these chickens are like, looks good. And they'll eat it up.
Oh, that's sad. That's sad. Why would you bring that up? That is sad.
I don't even like chicken, so I don't care.
Chicken's good. Fuck you.
I mean, yeah, I like to eat them. But...
Yeah. But, turns out the Filolials are omnivores, because whatever they made had skeleton in there.
No, they made it out of the dragon, well, the T-Rex.
Oh, yeah.
Because they, before they left, Naofumi's like, I'm gonna assimilate it into my shield.
Oh, that was important. We didn't go over that. He tried to raid shield, and something blocked him. You hear a voice like, don't do it. And after the queen saves him, he goes over to try and take a piece of it to put in his shield. She's like, I'm very against a cardinal hero using the using pieces of the dragon and that transformation to save the world. And he's like, well, I'm doing it anyway.
He's just like, shut your mouth.
So, after this cute scene where he feeds all the Filolials, he's like, fine, I'll do it, but you are going to find me the biggest pots and bring me more ingredients. So, everyone gets the itis, and they're all just, like, passed out from food-itis. And, the Filolial Queen and Nafumi go to have a discussion. While they're having a discussion, apparently we learned the reason Philo is growing up the way she is because she's being raised by a hero. As the queen was, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. Do you remember her name? Starts with F.
It was something about the Filolials. It was just so obvious.
Yeah,
but
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's not coming to me right now. She's just Chicken Queen to me.
Yeah. She says that she was raised by a hero like 1,000 years ago. Or some shit, like a crazy long time ago.
Yeah, she's hundreds of years old. She's an ancient chicken.
Mm-hmm. And she informs him, with much annoyance in her voice, why the fuck have you not been coming to the other waves? To which he's all like, what do you mean?
Fuck?
I've been at every wave. What are you talking about? It's like, no, you've been at every wave that affects Melremark, but you haven't been at any of the waves that are at the other kingdoms.
This is the moment where he realized he fucked up. And he's like, oh, duh, yeah. Melremark's important?
No, he didn't. His only excuse was, I'm learning of this right now. I have no idea what you're talking about. And then she begins to chastise him because all the heroes are fighting amongst each other. And he's like, hey, they started it first. They did. And he's like, I know the gist of what happened to you. I get that. It's always been a bit of a tradition that human elitist civilizations will spurn the shield hero. But the thing is, you're all the cardinal heroes. You need to go back there and make up with them. And he's like, no, you don't understand. Like, I don't want to, and they don't want to. It's out of the question. He's like, so that's your final answer. You won't make up with them. And he goes, I can't. I'm not gonna. And she goes, well, I guess that makes my choice easier. And he's like, what do you mean? Well,
he's like, I'm gonna start chicken getting.
I'm just gonna have to kill all the cardinal heroes then. If the cardinal heroes are gonna fight amongst themselves, I'm gonna have to kill them.
Yeah. So she said that each of the kingdoms was supposed to get a hero.
Yes. But for some reason, Melremark has all four.
Yeah. I guess Chancellor douchebag. Or I don't know what's going on.
That could be why the heroes' weapons don't work properly when they're in close proximity to each other. Because they were supposed to be. It's probably like a fail-safe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably exactly why it is. Now that you bring it up,
because they haven't really gone into that since the very first episode. They showed how they sort of repel each other, but that's probably why. Other than that, there was one scene where Sword and Bow Hero are actually going down, like, okay, something's not right. We're gonna go investigate. They go to the Church of the Three Heroes, and they find a secret basement.
They're like, yep, they're definitely hiding something.
It's like, and Sword Hero reluctant is like, damn it. Turns out Nafumi was right. Alright, then everyone search the books. Let's figure out what the hell they're hiding. And while they're searching the books, it goes back to the staircase, and mine is all like, get your nose out of this, you damn dirty kids. It's like, get off my lawn, you damn kids.
I don't even understand how she knew to be stalking them, and how she seems to be everywhere.
I don't know. She's... I don't know, like I said, there's something more to her than we don't know yet.
Like, at one point, she's trying to burninate the forest down to get the shield hero, and now she's on the tail of the bow and sword hero, who are finding out the secrets of the church.
Yep. So, what's going to come of that? We don't know. The story was good. I had fun with the story. I enjoyed the interacting with the Filolial Queen. I really like the world building this episode does.
I like the music.
The music was great. But the reason it falls today is because that was some bad CGI. That was some jank-ass CGI.
Yeah, don't eat those chickens.
Nah. And the only one that, like, the Felonial Queen looked cool when she was standing still. When she was sitting there looking all giant and regal, you know, her giant chicken form. She looked pretty badass. I like the way like her head feathers looked and everything like that. But the moment she started to move, it was just sort of like, oh, ooh, look at the frame rate on that. Oh, that's kind of jank. That's jank. Ooh. But final thoughts on this episode.
No, there's really no final thoughts. Just have to watch the next one to see if if she murders them.
I mean, let's be perfectly honest.
I guess she's not going to because there's still like.
Well, here's the fun bit.
10 more episodes.
They specifically said in the last episode the T-Rex was the best they could do was seal it away because they couldn't defeat it. The last heroes. Felonial Queen one-shotted it. Now Fumi and his group couldn't even do a single HP's worth of damage to it. If Felonial Queen wants to murder him, she can clearly do it.
But they might have gained like 20,000 levels between episodes.
From what? Eating the food with the Felonials gave him that much experience?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Maybe the queen fucked up too, and
she can jam his transformation. He can't even use the curse shield against her. So his which again, another big point that it brought up. She actually says, yeah, the curse shield does give you great power, but the consequences are also just as great. And you really should not be using it.
Don't do it, kids. Don't give in to rage.
Unless it's funny. And with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next entry on the list.
Today on Demon Slayer, demons get slayed.
They do, too. It starts with a little bit of flashback, though. Which I hate when anime does this. It's like they have to, like, repeat the last...
Here's our recap of the last episode.
So if you're, like, watching... Like, if you're binging this, you know... Like, after the whole thing's out, you start binging it. You finish episode 3, you start episode 4, and you get the last 5 minutes that you just watched in episode 3.
Oh, shit. I had no idea.
It's like... You don't say!
Yeah, so we do get a recap of him cutting the rock in half, which we knew.
Yeah.
How could we forget?
And, Mr... I tried to commit his name to memory.
Yeah, so Mr. T shows back up. And he's like, I've never meant for you to pass this test.
Yeah, he legitimately states that, I was hoping you'd fail, because I didn't want to send another child to their death.
I think he wasn't hoping he would fail. I think he set about to cut a rock in half because he thought it was impossible. Because he didn't want to sit... There's a reason he didn't want to send him out to the final reckoning, the final countdown,
selection. The final selection. So, I guess it was such a emotional scene for him that that he did it, and that I'll call him Sensei because I can't remember his name. Oh fuck! It's gonna drive me insane. Urokodaki. Mr. Urokodaki, he falls into his chest, his like abdomen, just starts crying and holding him, and Mr. Urokodaki holds him back, and and then he's like, "Come on, come back to the house, let's go, come on," and he gives him a feast. He creates this big old, he calls it a feast. It was 4 fish on a stick and a soup. Again, Tanjiro is all like, he's like, "This is the most elaborate meal I've ever seen." It's like, okay.
He must have been eating dirt for the last 2 years.
I know. So, you tell it. It's your entry.
Yeah. So after, there was a huge missed opportunity where they could have shown Mr. Urokodaki eating through his mask.
They didn't do it. He didn't eat at all. Like the first, we both looked at each other like, how are they going to do this?
How's he going to eat?
Are we going to see his face? He's going to lift it?
Does he never take it off? Is there another mask under his mask?
It's fucking Kakashi all over again. It's fucking Kakashi all over again.
Yeah, they'll get to that the filler episode of Kimetsu no Yaiba where they reveal that there's another mask under his mask. I don't know how they're going to pull that one off, though. Yeah, so he has finished eating, and what's her face? Nezuko has still not woken up. She's having a really good dream, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Probably where she's eating all the humans.
But Mr. Urokodaki actually does drop a little bit of knowledge on her ass. He's all like, one day, with some training, you'll learn how to, you'll be able to scent with your nose.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, like, how many humans a demon's eaten. Because the more humans they've eaten, the stronger they are. And, I think there was another bit of knowledge.
Which does come up later in the episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Tanjiro talks about how he is able to smell some kind of line
attached to his sword and attached to
the weak point.
Other people.
And like when he's fighting something, he's able to smell the weak point of his opponents because it's like a string that's attached from the end of his sword to the weak point of his enemy, and then it draws taut and draws him towards it.
Yeah, it was an interesting explanation, which I didn't buy for a second. Apparently, that's the way he fights.
Yep. So the morning comes and Tanjiro takes off.
He's like, "Bye, Mr. Urokodaki, blah blah. I'm going to the final selection now." He's like, blah blah blah, and then he turns around and he's like, "Say bye to the other two kids,
Sabito and Momo."
Yeah, Sabito and Momo." And then he runs off, and Irakidaki's like, "The fuck? How do you know about them?
How do you know the names of those dead children?"
Yeah, he's gonna come back later. He's like, "Well, I was just tripping so many balls," and
it made me laugh because Tanjiro stops like 3 or 4 times to say goodbye again. He has to say it multiple times.
Yeah, but he's going off to the final selection that Irakidaki didn't want to send him off to because reasons.
Because yes, because the show demands it happens.
Yeah, we weren't. The story's not going to move forward if he doesn't go to the final selection. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck for another 5 years cutting another rock.
Yeah, a bigger rock.
Yeah, but he's got to cut the mountain now. The only way to go to the final selection and pass it is to cut the biggest mountain in the world.
So he gets there, and there's all those other kids there. All kids.
You can tell most of them are not main characters because they all have very plain, non-descriptive character designs.
Mm-hmm.
Except one of them.
Yeah, one who's wearing a lot of yellow and bright yellow hair.
He
and
really
very
sticks
dirty.
Out. He really sticks out.
Like, it's apparently a fashion for these kids who go to the final selection to either be covered in scars or extremely dirta.
Yeah, chances are that kid's probably a main character.
You think?
Yeah.
You mean in a sea of nondescript characters, there's one that stands out like a goddamn sore thumb?
Yeah, but we don't really get anything from him this episode.
No, except for him standing there looking pensive and kind of upset. But that's about it.
So we're off to the final selection, and we get these 2 creepy little girls that start explaining everything.
I'm going to call them Calca and Brina.
Yeah, so they're talking about this, and they're like, well, the tree with the blooms. Oh, what blooms were they?
I can't remember.
Yeah, we're bad with names.
Yeah, well, that's not even a person's name. That's like a flower name. I don't know fucking flower names.
Yeah, these flowers, demons hate them.
It repels
reasons
them.
They didn't explain. I don't know. Maybe it's in the flower description, like this flower is for the ones you love, and dandelions are for whatever.
Yeah.
But she's like, on the upper side of the mountain, there's none of this stuff, and this is where all these demons that have been captured by the other hunters have been just set loose for the final selection.
So that's the final selection. They have to survive on this mountaintop
for 7 days.
It's basically the Hunger Games, but with demons. Yeah.
Tanjiro is in there, and he's like, "I'm just gonna chill."
With his new what was it, a warding mask or whatever? That
he had a warding mask from
Urokodaki. There's like a fox mask that he like puts up here on the back of his head.
But his whole plan is just to chill for 7 days.
No, it's like I gotta get through the night, and then I can rest during the day, because demons can't go out during the day, because sunlight kills them.
Yeah, because they're vampires.
Yes. So, he's immediately set upon by 2 demons.
Who are like, I want to eat that boy.
No, I'm gonna eat that boy!
No, he's mine!
No, he's mine!
Mine!
Mine! Fine! Whoever gets to him first wins! And then they both... They're like, I guess you could call it an uneasy alliance, I suppose, a temporary alliance. And he uses water-breathing technique.
I don't know why it's called water breathing.
I don't either, because I don't remember being able to breathe water, but okay.
He's not underwater.
But all his moves apparently... I don't know if they're actually creating the visuals we see, which are very pretty, by the way. This animation is so pretty.
We got a huge step up from Dororo, and anime is saved.
Yes. And he does this really neat water technique. That's what he calls it. It's like water technique, 4th form, and he does this thing, and one fluid swipe chops both their heads off.
And then they disintegrate into a pile of goo, and then ashes, and they're gone. Completely.
Like, yay!
And he's like, this new sword is badass.
And he's like, what is that? Oh, what's that smell? Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, the smell!
The smell is terrible.
It's like they went down to the bog of eternal stench over here. Smell bad!
And then there's some kid running away. He's like, oh my god, he's gonna kill me.
I love that. This line made me laugh so hard. He's like, no one told us about this.
Yeah. He's like, nobody told us about this. I didn't sign up for this. Like,
it's like
kid, you're just fucking confused here. You're going to the final selection
for demon slaying.
And they told you there are demons here that you have to slay.
You know, or at least survive for 7 days.
The kid's like, I didn't sign up for this.
It's like,
yeah, you did.
Yes, you did.
This is exactly what you signed up for.
You were trained by a demon slayer to go to the final selection for demon slaying. What did he think the final test was going to be? I thought we were going to cook cake. I thought we were going to bake some cakes.
Cake, man.
And it turns, and there's a really nifty illustrated demon. I really like the design of this thing. It's really it's all arms.
He's a Lovecraftian horror.
He is. He really is. And it shows him with like a dead child in his hand. Another candidate, and he just goes like his whole stomach opens up into a mouth, like the arm, like because he's all like wrapped arms around himself. They sort of open up to show this like gaping maw that just drops it into.
Yeah, and Tanjiro's like, he ate him. And as we know, they get stronger when they eat people.
And it visually shows that he steroids out like.
So Tanjiro literally just sat there and watched this thing just eat this kid.
The kid was already dead.
Get stronger from it.
Oh yeah, there was that.
So it's like, why would you let him do that? Okay, so the theory is that he wanted to get more XP out of him when he killed him.
There it is. So the demon's going to kill the other kid, and Tanjiro's like, he sacks up.
It's like, I gotta save this kid.
Gotta save him, and he does. He saves him. Kid's a fucking pussy. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this kid will never make a good demon slayer because it's like the moment.
Well, he didn't sign up for this.
Apparently, right? Because the moment like the demon starts to get the upper hand on Tanjiro and and focuses in on Tanjiro, the kid's like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out," and takes off.
He's gonna be down there arguing. He's like, "No, I didn't sign up for this," and they're gonna show him like the contract where it's with his signature, and he's like, "That's not my signature."
So the demon, he's very interested in the fox mask on the warding mask on Tanjiro.
Yeah, because Mr. Urukadaki was the one who put him on this mountain, and he's pissed about it.
Although he asked Tanjiro the date. He's like, "What
year of the Meiji is it?"
It's like the such and such age.
We're in the Taisho age now. He's like, "No,
I've been stuck here through a whole age has gone by. The fuck! That fucking Urukadashi! That bastard! I hate him! I hate Urukadashi! Hate Urukadashi!" He's like, How do you know Mr. Urukadashi?" as he tells him the backstory of how he's the one who put him there, and he goes, "So I've been getting my revenge on Mr. Urukadashi. Every time he sends one of those kids up here, he always puts one of those fox masks on him. And I know it's his because it's the same make, the same texture as his Oni mask. So I make sure to always find those ones and eat them. I've eaten about 50 kids so far, and about 14 of them have come from Mr. Urukadashi." And he talks like in great detail how he destroyed both Sabito and Momo.
Yeah, he killed both of them and ate them.
Like, Sabito went for the neck, which is a demon's weak point they pointed out.
If he cuts the head off, you know.
It's like Highlander meets Attack on Titan rules.
Pretty much.
But his neck is so thick that Sabito couldn't cut through it.
Not only could he not cut through it, he broke his sword on it.
Yep, and while he was reeling from it, he crushed his face. Meanwhile...
Punched him in the face and he was like, "Oh god, I can't take it."
Meanwhile, Momo, he was not as physically powerful, but she was super agile, so he captured her and ripped her limbs off. Nice guy.
And then he ate her.
Yep. So he's fully confident that he's going to eat Tanjiro, and he's like, "Haha, that'll be 15 of Urukadaki's little brats. Ha ha ha, my revenge will continue."
Little does he know that Tanjiro is a badass.
Little does he know that Tanjiro has plot armor because he's the protagonist of this anime.
Yeah, the author's on his side.
Mm-hmm.
What can this stupid fucking demon do against that?
So, at first, he's a little erratic. Yeah, he's all, like, pissed off because, the demon's taunting him about, eating the kids. And
Sabito's like, "Man, you gotta calm down."
Yes, Sabito and Momo's ghosts are still sitting at the rock, and apparently they're able to telepathically witness the entire fight. And Momo's like, "Do you really think he'll be able to defeat him?"
It's like, "I don't know. Well, he did cut this fucking rock in half."
That rock! Ooh. So, I guess a long story short, after a lot of limb killing, which the demon's able to just regrow his limbs almost instantly, he does a little thing where he shows the string and it gets a little taut. Mm-hmm. And he goes for the certain point on the neck. And he's like, "Haha, the kid will try to attack my neck and the blade will bounce off."
Yeah, I'm just I got too much armor.
Yeah, too much neck.
Too much neck. Thick neck.
And when he fails, I'll eat him. So he doesn't actually, stupidly, he actually doesn't put up a defense. He's sort of like, his plan is to let it happen, because he thinks he'll be able to, deflect it.
Yeah, he thinks, he's not going to get through my armor.
Did he? With the water?
Yeah, there's a thesis statement here in a paper made by a scientist of how his demon neck got cut off. He got his whole head cut off at the neck and died horribly because he did not put up a defense.
Yep.
And therefore he's dead.
Oh, all right. That was a short paper.
Yeah.
That was a short thesis. Wow. So he avenges all the kids. And it ends.
Yeah. And we get to our little sequence at the end.
Oh, I love those cute little sequences at the end. I love. What did you say about the voice actor to Nezuko?
Yeah, she's got like the easiest job in the world because she just sits there and like grunts and stuff. That must be an easy job.
I don't know, man. I've seen like behind the scenes stuff with voice actors, and like they're like, "Okay, give us like battle grunts for your character," and they'll sit there for like 4 hours just doing different different versions of ha ha ha. And it's like I can only imagine she's in there in that studio just for 4 hours, like
Yeah, I understand. There's a point where in like TV and video game production where I think things are just overproduced. Like,
but would you rather overproduced than underproduced? I mean, granted, I mean,
4 hours of grunting.
I know. Let's be honest. Like the voice actors do not get treated right. I think they're going on strike again. I've heard that voice actors were actually going to go we're actually going to.
Yeah, I don't think that would work in Japan.
So I mean, I meant like here, like the localization voice actors are actually thinking of going on strike again.
Probably like, you've dishonored your family. Get out of here.
Yeah, I've heard rumors of another little falling out between the voice actors for video games and anime again, or is about to occur.
Hey boy.
But this episode of Kimetsu no Yaiba, though, good episode.
I really like this, especially coming off the heels of where I was just reeling in horror of Doro. I was like, this was a welcome, change of pace.
One of my patrons had a word for when an anime has like decent animation, but then when they go into the fight scenes, all of a sudden the animation quality like cranks up really high.
Yeah, Sakuga,
I think that was what it was. Yeah, this, and I showed him the first fight between Sabito and Tanjiro, and he was like, perfect example of that word you just said.
Yeah.
What was it again?
Sakuga? Yeah.
Yes.
It's exactly how you would think it would spell.
Okay. So, I really did like it. It's
like Sakura, but with
yeah.
a G.
This episode was rocking. I really did enjoy it. I liked the designs, like the first two demons that he fought, and then that third mega demon. I think the one kid who ran away called it a mutation demon.
The music is really good too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just to be expected.
Yeah.
From these two composers.
Exactly.
Never gonna be disappointed.
I love whenever, and this is the first time we've seen it in the show. We've seen it during the opening credits.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time we actually saw his water powers in the show.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It looks like this really beautiful tapestry is like coming off as water off of his sword, and it looks gorgeous.
Have some interesting effects. Now, the only way I think that this anime could get bad is if like old man Tomino busts out of his closet and starts putting in some really ridiculous lines. But I don't think that's going to happen.
I hope
not. But
it
could.
I hope not. So, that was Kimetsu no Yaiba. A fantastic episode. Definitely made up for last episode.
Yeah. We weren't spending 2 years cutting through a rock.
No, we didn't. We spent a year running down a mountain and avoiding traps, or getting hit by them. 6 months of trying to cut a rock, and then another 6 months of trying to cut a rock while Sabito came in every once in a while to fight him.
Yeah, okay, so we're not spending a 2-year training arc of...
Nope.
Just...
You know what this actually feels like to me? This feels like, these first 4 episodes feels like Yu Yu Hakusho sped up.
See, I've not watched Yu Yu Hakusho, yeah, whatever.
Well, that's
Yu Yu Hakusho. I've not watched it.
The first couple of episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho is very much like Bleach, where
another show I've not watched.
You've read the manga.
I've read the manga.
You know how it starts off where he's like a freelance, demon slayer,
where it's not really connected to a overarching story.
Right.
He's just
that's how Hakusho starts. But then he starts going into the extra parts of it, where he learns and goes to training, goes to a tournament arc, then training, then another tournament arc. But this is sort of starting to feel like that, where it's like...
You hate the tournament arc.
Well, it feels like this, where it's like... This almost feels like a tournament arc. All the kids have to survive 7 days to this selection thing. It almost feels like that... remember that?
This is a tournament
remember that scene in Naruto where they had the Chunin exam?
The Chunin exam?
Chunin exam, thank you. That's what it feels like right now. Except it's a free-for-all.
Yeah, but it's not really a tournament.
I'm not saying it is. I'm saying it feels like it has that sort of feeling to it.
I don't even think that it could fit a tournament arc into this story.
I think there's a second season. It could.
It doesn't seem thematically appropriate.
Yeah, probably not. But I mean, I'm just saying the way it feels is what I'm trying to say. I'm not actually saying it's a tournament arc. I'm saying the way it feels is that it feels like the steps that other anime have gone through, but like really fast. Like this, like we had 1 episode of just training instead of like 6 or 7, showing him like slowly overcoming the thing. This episode, it's like, it looks like we're going into like a whole story arc that's only going to probably be like 3 or 4 episodes. As he like meets the blonde-haired kid, whoever he was, and
Whenever they meet the boarhead kid.
Yeah. That's another thing. I really do wish this show would... The opening credits shows hundreds of other characters.
Yeah, and
we've seen
being
5.
introduced at a glacial pace.
Yeah. It's like, okay, can we... Where are all these other people? Like, it shows at least the boarhead kid and the blonde-haired kid are apparently, like, going to be his party? Like, his friends at some point?
Yeah.
But it's like, can we get to them at all? But I'm sure we'll get there. We'll get there.
I mean, I think blonde-haired kid is imminent.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. But that was Kimetsu no Yaiba. And any thoughts?
I like this episode.
And with that,
go watch this show.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and move right along to the final entry on our list. And coming in at number 1 this week is Fruits Basket.
I think this is the best show of the season.
Yeah?
There's a lot of shows that are airing this season, like One Punch Man Season 2.
Yeah?
Which everybody's crying about.
Why?
Because they think it's terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And Attack on Titan Season 2. Or Season 3, Part 2.
Okay.
Because reasons.
Oh, okay.
Which, you know, are both massively popular.
Right.
But they're both action shows.
Mm-hmm.
And this is more stripped back drama, or as you said, a dramedy.
It is dramedy. It is absolute dramedy.
Well, I feel like
trust me, we haven't gotten to some of the bigger drama in the show yet, but this episode definitely dropped a lot of the drama, though.
Yeah, this is more of a comedy episode.
Mm-hmm.
This is like I was saying, I'm enjoying this a lot more than other shows. Like,
yes,
some people think
God,
that,
I mean, I lured him in. I win.
Some people think that Sarazanmai is like the greatest show just because what's his face is doing it. I can't remember his name right now because of how bad I am with names. But yeah, this is just great. I love the opening song. I love the ending song.
The ending song puts me to sleep.
Get to just relax 100%. You know, after you're done watching it, you get that ending song going, and you just melt into your chair, and you're like, ah, yeah, time to go to sleep.
And then while you're sleeping, Enta comes along and kisses you in your sleep.
Oh God, no.
Fruits Basket this episode is the introduction to Kagura Soma. The first female of the Soma, the first little girl, the first lady of the Soma clan. Lady, woman, girl, you know, of the Soma clan. She's very timid. Very, oh, is Kyo here? Oh, I heard Kyo was back. And she's like, oh yeah, she's back. She's like, oh, he is? And like, just pushes past Toru and rushes in there. And she's like, Kyo, you're back! Oh my God, I miss you so much! You left 4 months ago and didn't tell me anything! And proceeds to whoop his ass.
I don't know if this is true or not, but she seems like the type of person that would be in the archetype of the yandere. Just because of the way this episode was shot.
She's obsessed with, in love with, and also beats the shit out of Kyo.
Yeah, there's
while beating the crap out of him,
just spinning him over her head
by the foot,
and this is able to generate enough force to cause a lift, and they both lift off of the ground like a helicopter
until she's about 5 feet in the air, and then spikes him to the ground like a football. So while they're having their little spat, which is more of a one-sided just slaughter, really, Shigure, you know, oh yeah, that's Kagura, and she's you know, one of our, you know, our relatives, and she's also one of the Zodiac clan. And she's like, oh, she is? Oh, what animal does she turn into? Oh, wait, don't tell me, I want to figure it out for myself. He's like, oh yeah, she's only one of 3 women who are part of the Zodiac clan. Oh, 3? There's 2 other ones? Oh, what animals are they? No, wait, don't tell me they're animals. I told you, know, like, don't take away the fun Oh no, Shigeru's all like, well, I can tell you there. I was like, no, don't you take away my fun of trying to figure out what they are. Just let me try and figure out. It's like, but what is Kagura? And Shigeru's all like, I'm pretty sure if you pay attention to her, the way she acts, you'll figure it out. She like looks over and it's like, just getting the crap beat out of, like Kyo just keeps getting the crap beat out of him.
Poor Kyo. He just can't catch a break.
Actually, I feel bad for Shigure.
Yeah, Shigure! This guy...
I think he said at least 7 times this episode, he goes, why do you keep breaking my house?
Is this house insured?
I don't think so, because they were actually, after the fight, it showed Kyo, Toru, and Kagura repairing the door with tape.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about these Japanese doors is, you know, you got the sliding doors, and they just cover them with rice paper.
I mean, it looks pretty.
Like, okay, yeah. So it does look cool, but it's not
practical.
The greatest thing ever, you know. It's easy to break. And,
especially in animes where people get thrown across rooms quite often.
Yes, you know, if you're an anime character, you're going right through that door.
Mm-hmm. And they do, too. So, at first, Kagura seems to believe Toru is her romantic rival. It's like, oh, I don't like you. You will not take Kyo from me. It's like, oh, well, you know, I'm gonna go make dinner. It's like, no, I will make Kyo's dinner. They're like, no one's allowed in here until I'm done making dinner. And she makes this, like, dinner for 12?
Yeah, she makes this really exquisite banquet.
Poor Shigure.
They're like, Shigure's like, what? And then he goes in the kitchen, opens up the fridge, and he's like, you used everything. My fridge is empty. Literally. and like, she looks like she cooked a great meal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it looked tasty.
I just wanted to go over to Featherhoof's TV and just start eating this stuff, but he'd probably get mad.
Ignis from Final Fantasy 15 would be like, that's a really good meal. I have an idea.
That's it. I've come up with a new recipe. Just from watching this anime. So,
she's like, oh, wait, where's Kyo? And she's like, oh, he's upstairs. And Toru's like, I'll go get him. And Kyo's like, no! Kagura's
like, no, I will get him.
He's like, come on, Kyo, the dinner's ready. He's like, I don't want any. Oh, come on, I made all your favorite stuff. He's like, don't want it. He's like, come on, Kyo, come on, just don't be like that. He's like, I just said I don't want it. And she like starts like at first like you're gonna cry, like, how could you say that? She like, gets the demon eyes. And he's like, you will come down and eat their food. And starts again beating the crap out of him. They're like shows from downstairs. They're all like, the fuck? It's like the whole house is shaking.
Then Kyo comes crashing down through the ceiling onto the table and completely just ruins this meal.
Well, it's not Kyo didn't ruin the meal. I mean, it wasn't his fault his body got thrown through the floor.
He's partly responsible because he wouldn't come down and eat.
Well, I guess if you want to look at it that way.
His body was used to destroy everything.
That's like
so you could say he's partly responsible.
That's like blaming a bullet for killing somebody. The bullet had no say in the fact that it got shot out of a gun. I mean, come on.
That's like blaming a person for getting shot out of a gun.
Yeah, in this case, basically. So Kagura is instantly very apologetic. He's like, I'll go make more. And of course, like, you used everything.
Not only did she ruin the dinner for everybody, when she threw Kyo through the floor, it destroyed the table as well.
And a bit of the floor and the ceiling that he fell through.
So they have to do repairs on everything now.
Now this is fascinating to me, because they fixed everything, including the table, with tape. The table is literally being held together with bright yellow tape, like you would see at a construction site. And
it worked.
The ceiling just has like a blue tarp being held up with tape.
Yeah, if it works.
It's not really works as a floor for the second floor anymore. And it's one of those long tables, so I don't know how the center isn't sagging. There's nothing, they didn't show like underneath it, like there's something in the middle there to hold it up. It's just held
really
together with
strong
tape. Sure.
It's industrial strength.
So Kagura goes out to get food, but she left her cat backpack purse thing behind. So
With all of her money.
Yep, with all her money in it. As soon as she realizes she has no money, Toru is suddenly there and pays for it.
Yes, she buys some ground beef and
A bunch of other stuff. She buys a bunch of stuff.
other stuff. I
Yes.
only saw some ground beef because it
Dude.
came out to $37, and I was like, "That's some expensive beef, man."
It was like 3,720 yen or something like that.
Yeah,
No.
$37.
No, it's not 1-to-1 like that.
It's 100 to 1.
Anyway, it was like ground beef, and there was at least eggs and
Oh yeah, eggs.
whatever they made, because they made like burgers. I've never seen burgers made this way. Like in a pan with like a broth or something, and
No, it's just I see my family do this all the time, and it just makes me angry. They just throw it in a skillet and start cooking it, and
there's nothing wrong with that.
the only way to cook a burger is to put it on a grill.
Well, I agree with you, but I mean, there's other ways to cook a burger. I mean, grilling is the best way. I mean, still. But they don't really, like, she's like, I'm going to make hamburgers. But, they're not in buns. Or there's no cheese. They ate the hamburgers with chopsticks with, like, the burger in, like, a little soupy broth with, like, other vegetables and stuff around it.
I don't know. They did some unspeakable things to those burgers.
So, Kagura tells the backstory between her and Kyo. And she's like, the first time I ever saw Kyo, he was drawing a fried egg in the sand. Which is all like, well, that's...
I was trying to picture this in my head. I was like,
well, you didn't need to. They showed
what?
it.
A fried egg?
Yeah.
But they drew a fried egg in the sand, and I was like, okay, I guess you could do that.
So it shows little kid Kyo. It's like, oh, nobody wants to play with him. Everyone hates him. Except for Kagura. Kagura's like, you want to play with me? And he's like, you'll actually play with me? He's like, yes, I'll always play with you. You always you always have me. Don't you worry. And like picks him up. And he looks happy as a kid. Oh, that reminds me of, like, earlier. She's like, when Kyo's all last, like, what's this whole shit about marrying you? What are you talking about? And she's all like, you swore when we were kids that you'd marry me. He's like, it shows a flashback of the scene, and she's got like two butcher's carver's knives.
Yeah, she has these two knives, and he's like,
it's like, yeah, you were threatening my life.
Yeah, okay, I'll marry you because you're gonna kill me now if I don't promise you.
So, she's not too happy with Toru, but she's still telling him why she loves him so much and everything. And Toru basically says, well, that's cool, and she basically talks about how she says something that gets Kagura to realize, oh, Toru has no romantic intentions for Kyo. She's just a fan of the Year of the Cat. I mean, she's not my rival. And she, like, her whole outlook towards Toru, like, changes.
Kyo is all mine.
He's like, oh, we're friends now, okay. And they're all happy with one another.
And she's like, Shigeru, can I live here? Because I like Kyo. And he's like, no. No.
There was a weird little sentence. He's like, you know why you can't live here. Like, there was a sentence that, it was like, mystery. Wonder what that means.
Everybody knows why she can't live there. Because he doesn't have insurance. And he can't fucking deal with her breaking his house.
Oh. So they have a meal. It's nice. It's pretty. And at the end of the night, Shigeru goes, okay, Kagura, you're gonna... It's really late, and it's...
Get out of here, Kagura.
No, she says she can stay.
Get out of here, Kagura.
No, she stays.
Don't break any...
So, and there's a really touching scene with Toru with Kyo on the roof. It's cute, where he's like... He turns into a martial arts fanatic. He's like talking about, like, he's fanatically talking about how much he loves martial arts. And she's partially, oh, it's the first time I've ever actually seen Kyo happy. It's like, it's like the first time I've ever seen, like, that boyish excitement in him.
And he's like, you're actually paying attention to what I was saying?
He's like, yeah.
I know, on my experience, if somebody was talking about something I had no interest in, I'd just be bored.
It's like, well, I didn't understand it, but you know, I still tried to pay attention and I tried to pick up something. I listened to her. I was like, I know a little martial arts too. Watch. He's like, first time she's like, she called it the right hand jab, but she used her left hand.
Yeah, she called it a right hand jab, but she winds this off
with her left hand,
which makes it no longer a jab.
Yep.
And uses her left hand.
And punches him in the shoulder, which does nothing. And he's like, that was awful. And they have a little laugh.
I was like, oh, man. Yeah, I took martial arts when I was a teenager, so I was like, yeah, that was totally wrong. That's not a jab. That's not your right hand. Get out of here.
The night goes amicably. They'll have their dinner. They have a good time together. And then the morning comes. And the doorbell rings, and Kagura decides to go answer it.
Oh,
no,
she's just trying to get out of there. She's like, oh, you guys are making me so emotional.
That's
I need
right,
Kyo. I love him so much. I'm just going to leave.
And she flings the door open as someone is there about to ring the doorbell.
Speedy delivery.
And there's a dude standing there, and she bumps into him, and he puts his arms around her a little bit, and she poofs.
And they're like, that counts as a hug.
Well, I find it funny because Yuki, to keep the secret, comes out,
like, nothing to see here.
Puts his hand on his face and like glides across the ground, which then sends him gliding off into the atmosphere.
He's like got like a negative coefficient of friction or something.
And apparently he was there because he forgot to deliver the paper that morning.
Oh yeah, it was just the paper boy.
And when they turn around, there's Kagura. I mean, she's a boar.
I've played that game before. That's not how the paperboy delivers.
No,
he doesn't deliver like that.
He delivers it through your windows.
Yeah, you had a paper route. That's exactly how you did.
Oh yeah, totally. Yep, I threw them right into those mailboxes. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You mean through the windows?
No, that was only the non-subscribers.
What?
Did you not know?
Why are you giving non-this?
No, did you not know in Paperboy for the NES? That's how you get houses to be subscribers.
Oh.
Like if a house is a non-subscriber, you throw papers through their windows, they'll be a subscriber the next day. It's like a protection racket.
I'm sorry, don't. I'll pay my protection money. Just
exactly.
Don't vandalize me anymore.
Why do you think all the things on the street are trying to kill the Paperboy?
Good point.
Yep. So Kagura is there in her little poof cloud, and as it dissipates, she's a boar. And Toru's like, and you can almost see the gears slowly turning. There's almost like a little. You wouldn't be surprised to see steam coming out of her ears.
Oh, she's a boar! I figured it out.
She's a boar.
And then
Shiguri's like, that's not really figuring it out if the answer's in front of you.
Toru goes on another one of her just delusional speeches.
But like,
I was like, what are you talking about?
It's like, that's why you're so obsessed with Kyo, because you're the boar and you charge single-mindedly into one thought, and that's why you're like that. And
he's making it way more coherent than
that's basically what she said. That's basically what she said. And at first, she's like, she says something that like gets Kagura all upset, like, Kyo, you've been cheating on me, you bastard, and like starts to kick his ass as a boar. I loved it.
Shigura's like, yeah, didn't you say you were gonna forgive him if he cheated on you?
He's like, yeah, but I didn't say I wouldn't punish him first. And she's like nomming on his head. I think he's bleeding down the face.
Poor Kyo.
And she's like, no, I meant I just wanted to be like you, because of the intense emotions you have for things. He's like, you actually want to be like me? And she gets all starstruck and like, the blush on her bory cheeks. And then she poofs on Kyo's back into a human, naked. And Kyo just screamed like, put some clothes on! Put some clothes on!
Or don't?
No, she did. And that was pretty much the episode, unless there was nothing after that. I can't remember.
Yeah, that was the entirety of the episode, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
It was just a straight up comedy. It was just the whole time. I mean, I've seen other animes like this before. I've seen a lot of it in like Ranma. Ranma did this a lot with this style of comedy. You've seen it throughout the ages, but it's so funny because like Kyo, who's like ready to fight Yuki or anyone else who gets in his way. It comes to Kagura, and he's just like, he becomes this timid. He can't do it.
Completely getting dominated by her.
Except for one scene, there was a scene we missed. That's very important, where Kagura was actually spewing out all the reasons she loves, like why she loves Kyo. So I take him for both his pluses and his minuses. I even love him in his true form. To which, like, suddenly Kyo's like behind her and closes her mouth, like, shut the fuck up.
It's like, don't shut your mouth.
You will not say any more, unnecessary things this day. And she, everyone's all like looking very tense, and Toru's all like, well, what do they mean? It's true form. What does that mean?
Yeah, I guess we did miss that, and I was like, what? What do they mean by that?
I guess you'll just have to find out.
Spoilers!
Yep. I can't say.
I'm just gonna look this up on Google.
Don't you fucking dare! Don't you dare!
Right now.
No, you didn't.
Right now.
I bet you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
I just didn't see it.
Yes, I did.
I only type like 100,000 words per minute, so...
You're a liar.
You can't even see my fingers move when I do that.
Hey, I create sonic booms when I type, okay? You're nothing to me.
Sonic boom!
I break the sound barrier with my typing. So, fruits basket. Like I said, I've loved it ever since I saw the original. I'm just happy I was able to lure you in, and the fact that you're actually enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it a lot.
Anything specifically, or just in general?
In general.
What do you think of the new character, Kagura?
She's just crazy, man.
What's that?
She's just crazy.
She's crazy.
Crazy.
She cray.
She's very crazy. Like, I do expect her to murder somebody. I would not put it past her. Like, we'll get like a few more episodes down, and they're like just random newscasts. Like, Grandpa Justice was murdered in his home today.
Grandpa, Inuyashiki?
Yeah. They're like, yeah, somebody was murdered in their house today. We thought it was Ando, and no, it turns out it was Kagura all along.
We thought it was a human murderer, but we found boar hairs at the scene.
This guy, yeah, they cut to like some investigator that's like straight out of Invader Zim. He's like, no man, I'd ever seen before. It was a boar.
What was the name of the fucking pig mascot? Bloaty. It was Bloaty from Bloaty Pizza Hog.
Yeah. Good times.
Anyway, that was Fruits Basket. Definitely the best of the bunch this week. As far as I remember, I don't know. Again, I'm still coming to terms with the new animation style, the new illustration style. To me, everyone looks super thin and tall. It's really, really weird. But
I'm not bothered by this at all. Yeah. This show looked good, man.
Compared to everything else this week?
Like, I got PTSD from watching Dororo, and this may have healed. I'm like soothed and healed now.
I see.
Getting over it.
So I can't remember. Did they give us a like a preview thing? I can't remember if they did.
They give us a preview, which is basically just the title of the next episode, I think.
Oh, there was the scene at the very, very end where Toru gets a call. From her grandfather, and she's like, "I should have known it was too good to last. I was just deluding myself, thinking we could be family. Because it looks like maybe the renovations might be done."
And he's kicking her out because he don't like her.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna look this up.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Okay, it's time to look it up.
I said, don't you dare! No. So we'll see what happens to that. But as for now, guys, that was the end of Fruits Basket, and that was Anime Talk for week 4, spring 2019.
Spring 2019. I'm having a good time.
I am too.
Except for one show.
Yeah, Dororo was not. Just not it. That's it. Dororo was not. It was not. No. It is bullshit. It did not. It did not. Oh, it was... What happened?
It hurts me on a physical, I was physically hurt by that episode.
I won't even lie. We could not follow the story because every couple of seconds we kept looking back and forth at each other going, what the fuck is this? Like, I think between the two of us, we said, what is this? At least 20 to 30 different times. It's like, what is this?
I got physically ill.
Yeah, we vomited. I had to clean in here. I'd get the carpet cleaner. It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah. Quoting the Silmarillion there.
And Chapter 12. And Dororo's animation for episode 15 was bad. It was the worst. It was the badder of bad.
It's just so bad, man. Yeah. Yeah.
But our numbers this week were all over the place. Like, everything shifted. Let's have Fruits Basket. Fruits Basket has still been consistently in the top.
Yeah.
And so's Rising. Rising's been consistently in the top as well.
Banana is a fruit.
It is?
And it was consistently at the top.
That's true. Banana Fish, and then Banana Chan.
Yeah.
And then... I think there was something else, but I can't remember what it was now. But, that is... I'm hoping certain animes that start with D pick things up and get a little better in the near future. Other than that, any final thoughts this week?
I'm ready for next week.
I am absolutely ready for next week. I specifically, I'm really excited for more Shield Hero, really excited for more Demon Slayer. I'll always be excited for Fruits Basket because I love the original. Sara's on mine. Now that we're getting back into the crazy, I have more hope for it. Dororo.
Better be really fucking crazy next week.
Let's hope. Let's hope. Dororo. Mappa, if you're happen to be watching this, I doubt it, but hey, people at Mappa, if you're watching this,
stop hurting us.
Please stop hurting us. The first 12 episodes were fantastic. Why is it that you have not been able to replicate that at all this season? What happened?
Like, I'm not sure what I did to make them hate me.
I don't know.
Or that you did, or anybody else that's watching this show.
Apparently, people in general have really offended the people at Mappa. I mean, Tezuka, like I said, is rolling over in his grave right now with how they've treated the last 3 episodes. And specifically this one.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. Well, hoping for better. In the meantime, guys, we're going to go ahead and end this episode here. If you enjoyed it, if you agreed with anything we said, disagreed with anything we said, watching any other anime that you're excited about that we're not talking about, let us know about it all in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know what they like, comment, subscribe, share it, or you can click on the annotations for other videos we've done. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next time.